Oh, we are back, baby. Mikey is back from our very long weekend.
Yes.
Not very long, 4 days.
Yeah, 4 days. That's very long. I tell you, I got a lot done. I did so much. I cleaned out my car. I was like, who uses this car?
Whose car is it?
There was so much in there, but now it looks pretty good.
Sometimes it's just the last thing. Every time I get into my car, I'm thinking these kids and me now have ruined it.
The back seat of my car and the back of my hair, both things, none of my business.
Yeah, none.
If I can't see them, then they don't exist.
I like that philosophy
like
a lot.
that?
Yeah, but it was a good time off.
Oh,
so
that's great.
Good to be back.
Good to see you.
We're so happy to have you back. And just in time for the Kelly question of the week. It is Wednesday. I'm really excited to hear your responses for this one. So we want your opinions, your reactions. We're going to post this question all over our socials, and then we want to make sure that you respond so we can read them on tomorrow's show. We have all been flooded lately with Taylor Swift news in the last week. You might be learning it like you want to, like myself, or maybe against your will, and that's okay. What celebrity, this is my question, what celebrity do you know way too much about? And I love this because, like I said, I think a lot of us know a lot about a certain celebrity, and you didn't really ever read into it. You didn't ask for this information, but you are fed it, and it is locked in. So make me feel like less of a loser, and tell me the celebrity you know too much about.
Oh my gosh, this is great. I can't wait to see the response.
I know, this is going to be fun. But I'm extra excited to talk to you about this little fun story that I read. And we've all heard about putting our heart on our sleeve, putting ourselves out there. Well, a woman in San Francisco decided to put her heart on a highway, and the internet just cannot stop talking about it. Her name is Lisa Catalano.
Which we all know.
Yes.
She's on the billboard.
Against our will. But we are so excited for Lisa. She's 42, and she was frustrated by all the apps and all the online dating failures. So she said, you know what, I'm taking this to the streets. Literally, she launched a billboard campaign along Highway 101 and on taxis. This woman got some serious real estate, promoting her site, marrylisa.com, where she encourages eligible men to apply as a potential husband for her. Now, you would think she had to have had a little bit of luck. I mean, there are other singles out there looking right now, too, in her same position. Yeah, I'd say a little bit of luck. She's received nearly 2,000 responses in the last 3 weeks.
Wow.
Good for you, girl. From men aged 19 to 78. So it just goes to show the dating world, it's tough no matter what your age is. And she said that she's getting a lot of feedback on this, as you can imagine. Some admire the boldness, how she's putting herself out there. Others are maybe saying it's giving desperate. And now the world knows that you have failed at your prior attempts. I don't know. She said her criteria is not crazy either. As I feel like a lot of single women in my life, their criteria isn't nuts. It's not that we're asking for, you know, above and beyond here. She says she wants a man between the ages of 35 and 45 who shares her values, religion, politics, lifestyle specifically, and she just wants him to lead a healthy life. Emotionally, physically. And she said now that she has moved on to the next step, which I think would be the most fun, and Lisa, if you need me, I'm here, girl. She is going to vet the responses with her girlfriends, as you do. You never make big decisions without the squad. And then she is going to lock down some potential suitors this way.
I think, why not? I don't know. I can't even begin to imagine what it is like to date in today's world.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I don't want to pass any kind of judgment because I can't even imagine how hard it is if everybody is using the dating apps. I have even heard, going to the bar itself, like that some guys don't want to buy women drinks because they think it's too presumptuous, and then women are turned off by that too. Like everything has changed. These social norms that we grew up with have completely changed. I can't even begin to imagine what it is like.
No.
I will say, I mean, I am surely a girl's girl, but I do feel as though this is a bit much. This is to take out a billboard and post your face on it so that you're saying essentially, I'm available to whoever is willing to date me, and to have to vet 2,000 resumes. How do you do that? That's so much information. I mean, that would take a week. Like if you're going to employ your girlfriends to help you out, I mean,
everyone take a stack.
Like, what is the criteria? Like, how do you, is it height? Are we looking at occupation? Are we, like, what is it?
When you get into the nitty gritty, I do think that it could be cumbersome, to say the least. I do think that if you are one of those people who is completely convinced that love is out there for you, and I know these days it is hard to believe that. I appreciate anyone going to look for it. Well, how is she going to find her knight in shining armor?
But the person that she finds, are they going to feel special? Like, are they going to feel like, hey?
I imagine they're in the same situation, though.
Yeah.
I imagine if they're responding to this, that they also are looking for the same, and also having the same amount of difficulty. They just don't have the guts to take out, I almost used a different word, guts to take out a billboard.
That too.
And do it. And honestly, so she's 42.
42.
Does she want to have children?
Yes.
Because to me, that's it. You're trying to meet the right person, and you want to have a child, and you need to find the right person. I mean, truly, like, we have pushed that biological clock further for women because of medical advances and everything that we're able to do now. But if she wants to have a baby, she wants to get married.
I don't know.
Apply
I think
with
she's
it.
just calling for people who don't necessarily have the best intentions. It's just my thought
I
process.
did go a little true crime doc here in my head too, but again, with your girlfriends, they'll find that in a second.
I'm sure. Okay.
That'd be so fun.
Something else that's popular right now, Time Magazine, they wrote about this. And I know Hollywood, the world, they have been obsessed with thinness since I've been born. I mean, and nothing has changed yet. That's still the case. But there is a new focal point, according to this article, a new layer, muscles. Specifically, arm muscles, toned and muscular arm muscles for women. It's not just a marker of strength. It is showing privilege and discipline, according to this article. So they are body goals that not everyone can meet. And they talk about this coming, well, we're actually still in the era of Ozempic and GLP-1s, where now being thin is a lot more obtainable to the masses. So it's like we need a new standard. We need to just keep up in the ante here.
Because we have to.
Yes,
right.
Because these are not large arms. These are sculpted and feminine.
Of
and
course.
so they say that achieving this perfect balance, this perfect ratio of arm muscle, it requires money, personal trainers, a nutritionist, time. And in the past year, women's enrollment in weight training and coaches has increased by 14% over the last year. Also, the menopause industry, we hear a lot about this. We talk a lot about this, how muscle and toning is really important to that area of our lives.
Well, you've taken all the points now, because that's exactly the one that I was going to lean into. We have Dr. Gentili here with us today.
Yeah.
And she will tell you day in and day out that this is what women need to be doing. We need to be strength training.
We need to be strong.
Yeah. I wonder if part of this is not necessarily that, like, it's the new flex, but I think that maybe we're paying attention. Like, maybe we're listening. We've heard the advice. We thankfully have social media for some good, and some of that good is coming from learning how to strength train. Look, we know that this is important for us as we age to keep our bones healthy and strong. None of us want to be breaking a hip at 60.
I mean,
No,
You know,
definitely
like
not.
none of us want to be, but we know that that is entirely possible, because if we're not taking care of our bones, I can't, why am I choking up here? I'm getting verklempt.
Take care of
If
those
we're not
bones.
taking care of our bones, then we're gonna lose it.
I agree, but I also think that Time Magazine's, I don't think their intention here was to tell us, you know what, girls, focus on you. I think they said, now anyone can buy a GLP-1. Thinness is no longer going to be what we ask of you. What we need from you now is to be thin and strong.
Yeah, it's like, what are we going to attain next? I said this in the beginning of the year, where I said, hey, you know, I'm not necessarily ashamed of my arms, but coming off of pregnancy, I was shaking and they were still waving
We're playing
goodbye.
bingo over here, yeah.
But this is all before this. I did start lifting weights and trying to do my push-ups, because you shamed both Heather and I with the amount of push-ups that you could do. And I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna get some push-ups in. And I've been working on it.
You two also are coming into toddler arm territory, which is the best time.
Oh yeah.
You have that little baby.
But it's only one arm.
You gotta switch it up. You gotta switch it up.
All I'm saying is,
do a little
don't
of these.
come at me from my left, because I will ruin it.
I'm more of a right person.
Yeah, okay.
All right, I want to do a little game of Leave It or Bring It Back. You guys have your paddles. We're going to play a little game. And this is because the Wall Street Journal recently had an article about how young people are ditching some of the newer tech that we've seen, and not even, this is cell phones too, but they're ditching some of that and trying to go back to some older tech.
Love it.
Which we love to see. Maybe, we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
In the article, the 17-year-old they interviewed uses a phone that can call and send like old school text, you know, where you're pushing the buttons to get to the letters.
Yeah.
The art.
That.
And when you get the wrong one, you have to go back and then do it again. She also uses paper maps.
See, that's where I draw the
No,
line.
that's too much.
So that's where we start, ladies. We are starting with paper maps. So will you bring it back or leave it?
Do you remember
leave it.
MapQuest, though? Are we including that? Because MapQuest really had a chokehold on me.
Well, and I was going to say, I have this fondness. I wouldn't use it all the time. Do I love my ways? Absolutely. But the MapQuest, when we went to Colorado, we printed it out step by step, turn by turn, 13 pages.
You're like, Frankie, hold on. He's like, you're like, it hasn't been 13.6 miles.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we're
But
supposed to make a
that
left
matches
yet.
the vibe of Colorado. But on a regular basis, I would definitely say leave it. I
Okay.
still get lost with Waze, so why would I want to use a map?
So true.
Next up, we have digital cameras. And this one, I actually saw, like the throwaway cameras. I saw them in Target again. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
And the problem is that no one is tell me who's developing them. Because we used to be able to do 1 hour photo, you drop off the camera, you
Right.
get your pictures back. So what do you say, leave it or bring it back?
Bring it back. If you are going to make it accessible for me to be able to ever see these pictures.
Yes.
Do you remember last year we did a segment where we took around
Yes.
disposable
Where are the
cameras?
pictures?
I said, give them to me, I'll find somewhere. It was so hard. They were like $40 a camera.
Yeah.
Right.
a lot.
What?
And that's the problem. But I do miss the days of a bad picture being
too.
acceptable.
Yes.
And I
Right.
miss the click, that sweet click
Yeah.
whenever you were, and then you wound it.
Or how about when you
Yes.
wanted the flash and it didn't go and then you did a retake and you lost a picture?
Yeah.
The struggle.
Remember that.
Next up, CDs. Now we know that vinyl is having a big comeback. People are buying record players, they're buying their vinyls. We saw this with Taylor Swift. People wanted the album.
yeah.
So we've seen a resurgence of that. But how about CD players?
Bring it back. I mean, there was nothing better than having just your book full of 10,000
Binder.
CDs,
Yes.
a binder in the back of the car. You could just flip through and get whatever album you love. There was just something so wonderful and rich about that.
Or your
I
burn
agree.
CD?
yeah.
The burned mixes. We were DJs before these DJs were DJs. I will say, bring it back. I love it. I will say, once a scratch came on a CD, though, it was null and void.
Yeah.
So make sure that you're careful with your collection. But if we're burning mixes again, don't mind if I do.
Man, I'm in.
So good. Okay,
do it.
thanks for playing this round of Leave It or Bring It Back. Still to come with
Love it.
Pittsburgh. Under the moonlight and above the South Side Flats, Allentown transforms. This weekend, the most curious night market in town returns. We're going to have a look at the haunting art, eerie performances, and curious characters.
And it's in your phone, your car, and even your laptop. But what if the key to slowing Alzheimer's has been hiding in plain sight in something as common as the lithium? Hear more about new research during Wellness Wednesday. That's after the break.
You've likely heard of lithium before, as in batteries, but it's actually a naturally occurring mineral, something our body uses, and it might one day help protect your brain. A growing body of researchers are looking at whether tiny amounts of lithium could help protect against Alzheimer's.
And this is so important because with over 7 million Americans currently living with the disease and that number expected to double in the next 35 years, it's a discovery that could be game-changing. Dr. Natalie Gentile joins us to explain what the science is saying. There's some really interesting information coming out, and I think we all took a pause because we think lithium batteries. That's immediately what I thought. This is not that. It's the same mineral that can be used in that, though.
Yes, and the first thing I thought of actually was lithium, the medication that we use in significantly higher amounts in people with conditions like bipolar disorder. So I think headlines like this can be sometimes misleading or lead us to have preconceived notions about what they're actually talking about.
Okay. Yeah. And how does this relate to Alzheimer's? And is lithium somewhere perhaps in the root causes of the disease?
So we're seeing that trace elements like lithium or selenium or iron, some of these elements that are really important and found in small amounts in our daily diets can be helpful for protecting our brain. Now, where we run into trouble is making giant leaps then to say that therefore a deficiency leads to problems with our brain, right? And so that's where science comes in, and these big studies need to continue to happen to really see if there's causation
Because what I understand is this is a study that was done on mice. So we haven't really done much else with this, but what they were seeing is how this was increasing the lithium in these mice was helping with memory.
Sure, and then to extrapolate that into human beings takes many more years of research and bigger studies. But anything like this can be promising in such a devastating disease.
Yeah. And why might a deficiency maybe lead to something like Alzheimer's or help maybe cause it? And how do you get a deficiency? Is it you're missing maybe a food group or something that you're doing?
So deficiencies can happen usually because of dietary influences, but sometimes people have problems with absorbing certain minerals, and that can lead to that too. But we know that things like Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases have a lot of factors impacting them, right? It's not just your diet or just an element that's missing. And so it might be that you might not have enough of a certain element, but you also haven't been exercising for most of your life. You have poor sleep, low social support. So it's multifactorial.
You mentioned a couple other minerals as well. And I think so often we reach for a multivitamin or something on the shelves without actually knowing how it's working in our body. So how are these minerals, you mentioned iron, the lithium, and there was one other one. How do those work in our bodies?
They can be helpful in bringing down inflammation in the body. And we know that chronic inflammation in the brain can increase your risk of Alzheimer's disease. They also can help with regeneration of neurons. So the nerve cells in our brains that are important for memory, for example, they can be helpful in protecting those and maybe making new ones.
Yeah, I know so many people are affected by Alzheimer's. What makes it so difficult to treat, and especially treat early?
Yeah, so you have early onset Alzheimer's, which is a whole other thing. There's genetic risk factors for that. But the one we most commonly think of is a later onset after age 65 or so. That's developing for many, many years before you even see memory deficits, right? And so that's why it can be challenging by the time you get to the point where it's really profound and you're seeing it in your loved one or in yourself. There's not much that we have available right now to help, definitely not treat, and slowing progression is still, a dream in the distant future.
Dr. Gentili, I want to go back to something you mentioned because you said we got to look at the whole picture. We're looking at this one little tiny piece that maybe could provide some answers in the future, but you mentioned exercise. How does that play into how our brains are functioning?
Exercise is so important for increasing blood flow to the brain, to the whole body, right? And when we have that improved blood flow, we can decrease that chronic inflammation I was talking about. Bringing down that inflammation in the body and especially in the brain will help memory function long term.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And how do we get lithium? Is it something that we supplement with? Do we need to eat more of a certain food?
Most of us are just getting it through our daily dietary patterns, whether it be through, water sources and different foods that we're eating. So most of us do not need to be worrying about getting it through our diet. It's already happening.
I'm so glad that you came to talk about this because I do think you're right. We see these headlines and we think, oh my gosh, is this it? Is this what we were looking? This is the missing link. But it's good to take it one baby step at a time.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gentili. And if you are interested in learning more about Direct Care Physicians of Pittsburgh or Rebel Wellness, you can head to our website, kdka.com/talkpittsburgh.
Well, coming up on the show, you've seen her in True Blood, The Good Wife, and this Sunday, Carrie Preston is back for another season of Elsbeth on CBS. We're talking to her about what's in store. That's next.
Let's start with a place for the scene.
A Renaissance fair.
Well, what made you come up with that? Did you know that was a bit we did in the overalls?
Yes. And I've done a bunch of research on you. Was that good?
Yeah, well, we haven't really started yet.
Oh.
She's quirky, she's peppy, and she's solving cases across the city.
Think of her as a colorful Jessica Fletcher. Elsbeth returns for a third season on Sunday, kicking off CBS premiere week.
And joining us to talk about the mysteries, the guest stars, and all the fun is Elsbeth herself, Carrie Preston. So good to have you with us.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
And we saw just a small little clip. For people who haven't watched the show before, it is a spin-off of The Good Wife, but tone is totally different.
Totally different. Yes, we've taken this character that came onto The Good Wife 15 years ago, and we've taken her out of a legal drama and plopped her right down into a police procedural dramedy. And she is kind of like a fish out of water. And even though she's a lawyer, she's there on a consent decree. So she's making sure that the NYPD doesn't do anything that might lead to something litigious. But it turns out she's a brilliant detective. And so she becomes kind of like a modern day Columbo.
Oh, and with great outfits too.
Oh my
can we
God, the
add.
style is incredible.
Yes.
And I love how you are truly bringing levity to this profession. I just feel like right now we all need a good laugh as well. And there have been so many amazing guest stars this season. We have Diane Wiest, David Cross, but season 3 kicks off with my #1 celebrity crush, Stephen Colbert.
She has issues.
You two are a dream team. How was it? What was it like working with him?
It was amazing. I'd only met him when I did his talk show when we launched the first season of Elsbeth. So I hadn't worked with him or anything. And they wrote this part for him 6 months ago or more. He had said all along he wanted to be a dead body on a police procedural for CBS. And so Elsbeth said, we'll do it. So they wrote the part for him. And then the week before he was to shoot with us, he found out, and the whole world found out, that his show was not going to be continuing after this season.
Right.
So we thought, oh my goodness, he's not going to be able to do this. He's going to be too busy. But nope, he showed up ready to go. He was fully in character. Every time the cameras rolled, he was amazing. So he's playing a character that's very different than who he is.
It's really cool that you were able to
awesome.
incorporate him in. Since we have you, can we talk a little bit about True Blood?
Of course.
Oh my gosh, good, because we're fangirling a little bit of it. We love Arlene. And I think that she and Elsbeth might get along, don't you think?
I would think that Arlene and I think Elsbeth would be fascinated by Arlene. I think she would, because Elsbeth is fascinated by strong women, women who've made something of their lives, that, have had challenges. Elsbeth is just always drawn to them. So I would love to see a scene with Arlene and Elsbeth.
Me
That'd
too.
be hilarious.
It was such a good show. We loved that show.
Oh,
yeah.
Start to finish. And I mean, we are obviously big fans of Elsbeth, but why do you think that audiences are truly connecting so deeply with this show and your character?
Well, I like to think that, Elsbeth brings such a positive energy and spirit to the world. She has such curiosity. She's so fully ready to embrace life. She's so in the moment. She has a brilliant brain, and she's just not like the other kids. And so I think it's fun for people to see a character like that at the center of a show and not on the sidelines.
That's wonderful. We love to see it, and we're so happy that you joined us today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You can catch the 3rd season premiere of Elsbeth this Sunday right here on KDKA. Do not miss it.
Don't miss it. And it was so fun chatting with her. I love her. Still to come on Talk Pittsburgh, we lost a legend when anthropologist Jane Goodall passed away last week, but she left behind a legacy and maybe even a roadmap to a good life. We're talking purpose after the break.
We're taking a pause on this Wednesday afternoon and asking you to put yourself under a microscope with us.
What we're examining, are we living a good, fulfilling life, one that will give us longevity and happiness, a sense of purpose?
And this conversation becomes because, as you know, it was just last week that we lost world-renowned Jane Goodall. She became very well known because of her work with chimpanzees, but she never stopped after that. The New York Times had this really beautiful article, not just about how she lived, but what she was doing to have such a good life, like really examining some of the key takeaways. She passed away, she was 91, never stopped working or staying active in her roles as a scientist, a conservationalist, an author. She kept on working while so many of us count down the days to retirement, associating work with stress, and stress is bad as we start to think. Work is actually good as we get older. We need that. We need the socialization. We need to manage those little stressors that come up. It helps our brain keep thinking and staying active. They also said that Goodall had a reason for being. This is a little wordy, so stay with me. I'm going to quote what the New York Times put in their article. It said, quote, one study published in 2019 found that out of nearly 7,000 adults over the age of 50, those who scored highest on a measure asking about life purpose had less than half the risk of dying over the next 4 years compared with those who scored lowest. So that means, we're 60 years old, and this is over the age of 50. Let's say we're 60 years old, and someone says, do you have a purpose? What is your purpose? If you can't answer that question, they're saying that there's a greater risk of mortality in those next 4 years because you don't have a reason. We need reason.
To keep going.
Yeah.
We need reason. And maybe it is a part-time job somewhere. Maybe it is babysitting your grandkids. Maybe it's, but it has to be something. It can be something to give you that go, to keep moving.
And I agree that everyone does need a reason. And I do think that obviously not all of our lives can completely reflect Jane Goodall.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I always knew about Jane Goodall, like you didn't need to know all of her work, is that I knew that she was trying to make this world a better place. And I know that there are so many of us right now who feel like we're in the trenches. And what's our purpose? Well, right now, my purpose is to make sure that my kids are happy, safe, healthy, fed. Like right now, we're in that stage of life, but I think that can be a purpose. It doesn't, and I feel like so many of us, it could be our jobs, which is great. I know a lot of people are blessed to have careers that they feel fulfilled in, but I think that a purpose can be so big or so small, but you're right. If there's no goal and there's no end game to just leave the world a better place, then what is it all for?
Yeah, and you're right, James. She was a really good person. And I find this interesting because I've had this conversation with several of my close friends. And I don't know, maybe I just take it for granted because I found my purpose, if we're talking about a working profession, in this job, because it's what I've always wanted to do. But I have so many peers that are like, I don't have a purpose. I mean, I take care of my kids. They're not looking at it from like a family perspective. But I never found that one thing that I wanted to do. And for them, it's really hard. It's really difficult. It's something that they stew on all the time.
Well, and I think that brings up a really good point. And something that you mentioned, Cal, too, is that I think for a lot of women, we get caught up in motherhood, and this is why the empty nest syndrome is so hard for so many mothers, is because your kids have gone and you have poured your heart and soul into raising them, and that is your purpose.
Yep.
And then they leave the nest, and you're thinking, okay, now what is it? But it's okay. I think that you can redefine yourself. It's just important to do that.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's important to do
And
it.
pickleball is fun.
And
If you-
see,
pick a pickleball.
pickleball.
or strength training.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Arms with
that's
the new
right.
flex.
There we go. All right, ahead on Talk Pittsburgh, we're turning viral trends into fall treats. From Pillsbury cookie ice cream sandwiches to mixing up a crisp apple cider spritz. We're putting a sweet spin on the season in today's Trend and Tonic.
And they're giving foster kids more than just a bag of essentials. Next, how a local nonprofit is planting roots and giving kids hope. In the heart of Wilkinsburg, a local nonprofit is making a big impact on some of our most vulnerable neighbors, children in foster care.
Here to talk about their mission, milestones, and how you can get involved is Kelly Hughes from Foster Love Project. We're so happy to have you here. For people who don't know what Foster Love Project is and what you guys do, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, we provide support services for kids in foster care around the Pittsburgh region. And so a mainstay of that is having a free shopping center at our center in Wilkinsburg. So kids that move homes and don't get to take their belongings with them, they can come in, shop for clothes, shoes, toiletries, luggage, bedding, toys, a wide range of items.
Kelly, I remember one of the first times you and I spoke about foster love, you said that part of this was started because you found out and knew that kids were going from foster home to foster home. And some of them using garbage bags to bring their belongings. This was really a way to give them something that felt like theirs that they could take. And it has since expanded.
Yes.
In fact,
so much.
you just bought a new building.
We did. It's very exciting. So this started out of my personal experience of being a foster parent. And so I've had 8 children arrive at my home at different times, empty-handed with no belongings. And so I wanted to do not only fill the practical needs, but also what it's like to be in their shoes of arriving on a stranger's home with nothing. And so we opened our store in 2017, and then they were going to sell that building, and so we moved in 2021, and then last year we found out they were going to sell that building, and thankfully we were able to get the resources together and we were able to purchase that building.
Wonderful.
So we now have permanent roots and long-term sustainability for our organization.
Wonderful.
And can you walk us through, because as soon as you said shopping, like my interest peaked here. what does that process look like? Are they their kids, or they're showing up, and the foster parents as well, and just kind of walking through the space and picking items that may benefit them?
Yeah, absolutely. We do require kids 6 and older to be present because a part of our mission is that we want them to pick out what they like, what feels good to them. So it's important to us that they are present. They make an appointment on our website, and when they come in, it looks like a retail store. They get a shopping cart. They get to fill it with their items. We want it to be a very dignified experience.
You have a great presence on social media. I saw your post on Instagram, and there is a need. You all need resources coming in. You need products, and it's a great way for someone who might only be able to give a little to help out.
Absolutely. Everybody can pack what we call our FLP bag. It's an emergency kit that we give to kids right away before they can make a shopping appointment. And so those are bags that we collect in throughout November and December. It has an outfit, a blanket, a stuffed animal, full-size toiletries. You can see an example that I brought here.
So this is like they need one outfit. Here we have some toiletries and the book bag there.
Socks and a blanket. I mean, everyone needs socks for sure.
You know, I think that it really hits home just seeing these items that these kids don't have. This is a need that they have, and they're dealing with not having these things while also trying to find a family.
Right.
It is a lot of stress that can come on a little tiny person.
Absolutely.
And so this is our way to give them a hug and to tell them that people are thinking about them.
We can't change the trauma of their experience, the crisis that their family is walking through, but we can say we haven't forgotten about you as a community. We see you, and we believe that you deserve the best that we can give to you. We're not cleaning out our basements and attics and giving them our leftovers. We're giving them the best items that we can afford and find so that they feel seen and not forgotten.
Yeah, now I think this is really a perfect time to talk about this, especially with the holiday season coming up. You know, when you're in that position as a young person, feeling isolated and alone, this is the perfect time that you need a resource like this. How do people get involved?
Yes, so go to our website, fosterloveproject.org. We have 7 programs that we operate: a teen mentoring program, a back to school, an angel tree gift program, our bag drive, our center. So we have lots of ways that people can contribute and get involved for whatever fits their schedule and what speaks to them.
So they can volunteer, and also, what items do you need the most out of anything?
So on our website, we do have our wish list there.
Okay.
So we have a hair care wish list to help fill our hair shelves. We have just a center needs, what we need on our shelves. And of course, financial donations are crucial because I know we're low on certain things in our center. And when we have the financial donations, we can just stock that instantaneously. And so it's really appreciated.
This is wonderful.
You are doing amazing work. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And we know you want to learn more about Foster Love Project and how you can give back. So go to our website, kdka.com/talkpittsburgh. We will link you up.
Yeah, well, coming up, it's spooky, it's strange, and it's totally Pittsburgh. Next, we'll show you what's new at this year's Allentown Night Market.
If you're looking for something a little weird, wonderful, and totally unforgettable, head to Allentown this weekend. Easy to get to on the hill above the Southside Flats.
And that's where you'll find the Allentown Night Market. It's back with art, oddities, food, and entertainment, transforming the streets into the ultimate spooky season experience. The founder of the night market, Kelly Braden, is back with us. We are so happy to see you because this is so fun.
Yeah, happy October. We're about to kick it off this weekend.
And the night market really has something for everybody.
Yes,
There's a lot of fun, weird, unique finds. Can you tell us how you came up with the idea to do it?
So actually, I own an oddity shop up in the neighborhood called the Weeping Glass, and it was our 1-year anniversary party. We house a lot of spooky vendors and different artists, and so we thought, why not bring them to bring their whole collections so people can shop? A lot of people showed up, so they said, would you mind doing this again? And I said, sure. And then it went from 200 people attending and 20 vendors to 3,000 people attending and over 150 vendors.
So there is a need.
Yeah, I would
and you
say.
are fulfilling that need.
Yes, we are on our 13th biannual night market this
Wow.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
How
Thank
cool.
you. Yeah.
It all stems from just a small idea to get local businesses together. Allentown is such a cool spot. everything about it. I love the resurgence of it.
Yeah.
But what is new this year to the night market?
So new this year to the night market, we actually have added on another outdoor market because we had so many applications, it was overwhelming. So we now have 5 markets, so we have another outdoor market. We also have the T this year, and so public transit getting into the neighborhood is going to be like, that T is pivotal.
Seamless.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even take it from South
Hills Village.
Yeah.
We went past it when we went to the Savannah Bananas. We took the T in. You pass right through Allentown.
It's so easy.
Yep.
I want to talk about some of the stuff that you'll be able to find there. If we could start here on this corner.
Yeah,
I mean, again, there's a little bit of everything.
So we have our local businesses that will be open late, which is the heart of Allentown, right? The weird businesses, Death Comes Lifting, the horror-themed gym. We have the Weeping Glass, the Oddity Shop, Cathonia Sorcery. She's local.
And what is that, like a
so
an apothecary kind of
yes,
thing?
it's like apothecary, sort of magical tools.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We want to do a seance.
Okay.
For Halloween. Do
Okay.
you think that we can do that with you?
I have a
Am I
really
scheduling this
cool
right now?
Airbnb with a seance parlor
know.
right above the Weeping Glass.
I've seen
we
the
can
listing.
arrange that.
Let's do it.
So this is Gravestone Girls. They are based out of New England. They do historical gravestone castings, and all the information for each cemetery is on the back of them. We have Erin Silver here. She is an illustrator based out of Pittsburgh.
Oh, look how cute this
yeah,
is. The cute little
Yeah,
ghost.
yeah, very cool. And then we have Solon Whimsy here, and she is a ceramicist and makes some really cool fall pumpkin mugs in all different sizes, all kinds of stuff, really. And then, of course, we cannot forget the oddities. The oddities are the heart of the whole thing. This is Cryptic Odds. This is a garter snake in a jar and a vintage Pyrex.
Oh, my gosh.
I think last year we brought a snake in a globe.
I
so
remember
this year
this.
we did vintage Pyrex.
I just love what they're into. This
Yeah.
is such cool decor.
I mean, yeah, it really is. Halloween year round. I mean, we celebrate Halloween year round.
Yeah, of
so,
course.
you know, we have Poison Apple Print Shop. She is a local screen printer. She does all her own illustration and then screen prints these. North Avenue Candles is another Allentown
smell
business.
these?
Yeah, absolutely.
I already did. It's a winner.
Yeah, she actually has a studio in the warehouse where one of our markets are, and she has an open studio so you can do a candle making workshop and build your own candle or shop her whole collection.
Oh,
so
this caramel apple. I mean, it's spooky container, but this is a cozy
yeah,
scent.
and who doesn't love Goosebumps? That's really nostalgic for a lot of us,
And because
right?
you're talking candles, I want to go right next to it because these little guys.
Yeah, so Blossom and Burr, she is a Portland transplant to Pittsburgh, and she actually sculpts all of these and then casts them in wax.
I would feel
So those are
bad.
all original sculptures that she turns into candles.
I
Yeah.
feel bad burning them.
Same.
I don't.
You
They
keep-
collect dust. Yeah, they're decor.
I just, the detail is incredible.
Yeah, they really
us
are.
about,
Wonder Witch Boutique. So she actually does all kinds of books in like band and rock and roll themes. She's opening a boutique right across from the Weeping Glass on October 31st. She's doing a pop-up in the market, so she'll be there and you can shop her whole collection, but also you can check out her boutique.
And then there's, again,
Etched in
more
Embers.
ghosts.
Yeah, so that is not a local either, but she does some beautiful wood burning and watercolor on the wood burns. And then the Beetle Bolos up there, Big Bad Beetle Bolos. They do all kinds of entomology, bolos, jewelry, sculptures. And then, of course, Grim Wizard Coffee. We will be open, and we have the entire fall menu there as well. We have pinball, and the games will be on free play all weekend. So.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
bringing
of
this into our
course,
studio,
of
telling us
course.
more about the night market. It's amazing.
It really is. The amount of local businesses that are up there. Go support them. It's spooky season. The Allentown Night Market is this Saturday from 7 to 11. We're going to link you up to more information on our website. Take the tea and go enjoy it.
Still to come on Talk Pittsburgh, cookies, cocktails, and a whole lot of fall flavor. We're jumping on the latest food trends. That's coming up next.
It's time for Trend and Tonic. We're taking simple recipes trending online and trying them out so you don't have to.
Yeah, we're making it easy.
Yeah.
And the first one that we are going to try today is down here. I'm going to present this one for you. So, do you remember the little Pillsbury no bake or the
It's
easy
the
to bake,
only baking I can
ready
do.
to bake cookies? These are easy, and they have the little decorations.
Oh, cute.
They make them, I think, for Christmas too, but these are the Halloween edition. So there was a TikTok user, her name is Kate Bustillos, and she is taking them up a notch by making, as you can see, you put them in, you can make a little ice cream sandwich.
Oh my God.
So,
With 8 cookies at a time,
Yes.
and I love it.
so yes, she does it as one big one that you can cut that might be easier because as what we're finding with these, they're a little delicate. Okay. So if you break them apart to do them as individual, you might run into a little bit of problems. So here we are. I'm gonna try and make 2 of these. Take out the ice cream so it's soft. I have learned this the hard way. If you try to do this with ice cream that is fresh out of the freezer, you're gonna run into problems.
Yeah.
And we know that your family does
Weekly
weekly dessert.
Yes.
When you say family, you mean
You.
But usually homemade from scratch.
well,
So.
ish. And that's what this is. And that's a nice
for us
part.
at least.
Right?
Okay. So what you can do to add a little bit more is if you want to just take them and, you know, if the ice cream is enough on the side, I didn't fill it as much, but you can just put a little bit of sprinkles. Throw them back in the freezer so all this kind of adheres together a little bit more, but is somebody going to try
Did you?
it?
I was going to, volunteer.
Just a little bit messy and support it in the middle because like I said, it did kind of get a little flimsy. In the
Oh.
This is
That's
giving.
really good.
It's
Yeah.
good. There you go.
It's giving
fun. That's
Pinterest
fun.
mom without a whole lot of effort, and that's what I aspire to be.
So good.
This cocktail I have been waiting to make you girls. It is from Food and Wine, and it is one of those that I feel like we could all enjoy, maybe post hayride from schlepping our children. So this is what it is. It's the apple cider spritz, and what you're going to start with is 1.5 ounces of apple cider. I suggest the local stuff because it is the absolute best, and there are only 4 ingredients in this bad
we
boy.
love that. And this is one of my favorite things about fall is apple cider. So
Same.
we're already winning.
Amen to that. So you're going to start with the apple cider. Then you're going to do 1 ounce of Aperol. You guys a fan of Aperol?
I'm not.
know.
It's a little bitter.
Okay, it is. And I will say I have really only ever drank it with Prosecco for an Aperol spritz.
Right.
But I'm all about switching it up, adding the fall vibes. And like I said, you're gonna have a lot of this stuff in your house already. Who doesn't have a little bit of club soda and apple cider this time of year?
The color is already giving fall, so
I mean,
you're doing a great job.
it is. And Brittany said she walked with this, but we're gonna see how we pop it.
We're coming off set.
Popping.
Okay, woo! What a beautiful bottle of La Marca. Thanks, Britt, for hooking it up. So that is 3 ounces. I'm not gonna lie, we're not measuring this. We're just gonna give it our heart's little pour. That may have been a little bit more.
Truly, it's like an Aperol spritz because we're using the Prosecco and the Aperol already. We're just adding a little bit of sweetness with the
You
apple
got
cider.
it. That's
Okay.
all.
We're
And
not
then
complicating
you're
it.
just gonna top with your soda water.
water.
So you
Oh,
have
yeah.
a little bit of bubbles, a little bit of extra bubbles from the Prosecco. Then you are going to stir. That is 4 ingredients, my friends. And I am not by any means a mixologist, but if I can do this, so can you. You're going to garnish with
you came
an
with garnish
apple.
too?
I mean,
Well,
Wow.
Brittany did.
Wow.
Our producer, Brittany.
Just claim it.
Our
Kel.
amazing angel producer really hooked it up for this cocktail. You can tell she's a fall fan as well. But ladies, please
down.
give me your honest review of the apple cider spritz.
Cheers.
Cheers.
How we feeling?
Did you hear that big gulp?
I sure did.
You do get a little bit of that bitterness from the Aperol, but I like the sweet, like it's a lot of tingling.
It is.
It's very refreshing.
Crisp.
Yes.
It is
It's crisp.
as crisp as the Honey Crisps that you're going to take from that tree. But again,
love
this
that.
is the best bonfire cocktail that I've had in a long time.
I really like it. Yeah.
Perfect for those 80-degree days in October.
Yes.
Love it.
Perfect.
All right, well, we're going to have a link to both of these recipes on our website, kdka.com/talkpittsburgh. We'll be right back.
All right, we want to pass this along before we wrap up today. The 44th annual KDKA TV Turkey Fund is officially underway.
Please donate to help our neighbors in need have a warm Thanksgiving meal.
There are several ways to donate online, via text, or in person at any PNC bank, where they will match all donations of $50 or more. That's wonderful.
I'm still saying cheers to this beautiful drink.
Cheers.
Thanks, ladies.
It's lovely and just what we
Delicious.
needed
Amen.
I ate my apple.
Wednesday afternoon. It's lovely.
You made it halfway through your weekend. Thanks for hanging out with us.
We deserve this.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Coming up tomorrow on Talk Pittsburgh, it's not just the leaves that are turning heads and colors right now, from fabulous fall outfits to seasonal makeup inspiration. Find out the one key piece you need for your closet and your vanity to level up your glam this autumn. I need this because I just went through all of my stuff and said, I'm out of here. I need to refresh. I am over 40 now. We need some new things.
Me too,
Yeah,
though.
me too. This is my favorite season, so I'm looking forward to this.
Amen. And before your resume lands on a recruiter's desk, it may need to impress a robot first. You can do that. Learn how yours can outsmart the algorithm and rise to the top of the stack.